Welcome to the Tempo Storm Meta Snapshot Breakdown. Before we begin, the Great Dark Beyond expansion drops next week on November 5th, and Tempo Storm has 2 full card reviews planned. Make sure to keep an eye out for both at tempostorm.com. Now, onto the Wild Meta. We've seen a ton of balance changes since our last Meta Snapshot. 3 changes in particular stand out in Wild. The first gave Radiant Elemental the Sorcerer's Apprentice treatment, killing combo priest decks. The second saw Puppet Master Dorian's cost move up to 5 mana, making combo decks like Charged Druid extinct. The final change saw Treasure Distributor change to its original printed state. Aggro and fast combo have been significantly affected by the changes, making them all but disappear in the days following. How has that impacted the metagame? For starters, Tier 1 now has a new top deck because of the changes, Fatigue Demon Hunter. The archetype leans into the Ironbound Brute game plan while running only 30 cards, giving it an advantage against the slow decks that make up most of ladder now. Aggro's falloff is the direct cause for Fatigue Demon Hunter's rise. After Fatigue Demon Hunter, most of the decks in Tier 1 are the same that we've come to expect here. Spell Damage Druid, Lifesteal Demon Hunter, and Hostage Mage are all control decks with flat matchup spreads that are resilient to changes in the meta. As long as there isn't a huge shakeup, these decks will be at or near the top of our meta snapshot. Prince Renathal guarantees that very few decks will be able to hold a strong spread into all 3 archetypes. The final deck in Tier 1 will be a surprise to some given the narrative surrounding aggro so far. Pirate Demon Hunter holds the final Tier 1 placement despite nerfs decimating the deck. It's now become a sleeper on ladder, one with a low representation relative to its actual performance. Our experts have noticed its population recovering and its performance holding steady too, a promising sign for the deck in the long run. Illidan's aggressive option shouldn't be counted out. Tier 2 has shrunk since our last meta snapshot. Most Highlander decks have been relegated to Tier 3 this time, with Reno Shaman serving as the sole Highlander deck in the top 2 tiers. The drop in aggro has had an adverse effect on these decks, encouraging questline warlocks to come out of the woodworks and feast on slower decks. Gul'dan now resides in Tier 2 thanks to the favorable environment. Despite trends, we see a similar surprise in Tier 2 to that seen in Tier 1. Aggro Priest grabs the top spot here. The archetype is enjoying a meta where it's unaccounted for by most opponents. This has led to a higher win rate than expected for the deck, despite the nerf to Treasure Distributor. It's exactly like what we've seen with Pirate Demon Hunter above it. Aggro may not be as dead as everyone thought. If you're searching for new decks that have appeared since balance changes took effect, then you'll have to look in Tier 3. A pair of new combo decks have appeared there. The first, Boar Priest, has been seeing a ton of experimentation with its build. Players are still figuring out if there is something within the archetype despite its underwhelming performance. The second, Dungar Druid, reminds us of old Malygos Druid builds. The deck looks to summon Malygos, Ysel Windsinger, and Ionar the Lifebender together to kill with a myriad of burst spells. The deck's power level is on the lower side, but its combo turns are some of the flashiest you'll find on this meta snapshot. Are you looking to make one final push to Legend before the Great Dark Beyond drops? We here at Tempo Storm have everything you need to get you to your goal. Our meta reports are flush with tricks and tips to help you reach the next level. As always, thanks for watching.